Hey, it's Zay Green. You're watching Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination. So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. Once you arrive, you'll never look back. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Roll Tide and welcome to this Thursday edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. This is Roger Hoover. Glad to welcome you to our studio in Tuscaloosa. Happy New Year. We had the last few weeks off for the Christmas holiday, but now here we are in 2025. It is time for episode 245 in the show's history as we start the new year of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Each and every Thursday we'll be with you at 2 o'clock to give you the absolute latest on the Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll start our show by taking a look at what's coming up on this program. First of all, our headlines and what's coming up presented by RJ Young. RJ Young is the official technology solutions provider of Crimson Drive. They've given us a smart board to go through everything in a very interactive way. Tonight for Alabama women's basketball to begin SEC play. So off the top of the show, we'll be joined by the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, to detail the 13-1 start, the best start in program history for Alabama women's basketball. Then we'll take a look back to our Courtside Cam highlights from men's basketball from this past Sunday. A great win against South Dakota State to wrap up non-conference play for the 5th-ranked Crimson Tide men's team. Then we'll have coach's checklist from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Kalen DeBoer, following Alabama's game on Tuesday in the ReliaQuest Bowl. So we'll hear from the head coach of the Crimson Tide, again, after Alabama finishes its year in the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa. Tough start for the Crimson Tide, ultimately fell down 16-0 in the first quarter. Alabama did outscore Michigan the rest of the way 13-3, but ultimately Wolverines get the win to end Alabama's season as the Crimson Tide will finish 9-4 in 2024, the first year of the Kalen DeBoer era. Congratulations to Graham Nicholson. He will get to continue wearing a Crimson helmet at least. He'll perform in the Hula Bowl All-Star Game, getting to represent Alabama, so we look forward to seeing that from Graham Nicholson. Now stay tuned coming up over the next few weeks about some more announcements, like earlier today, James Burnham announcing he is entering the NFL draft. LT Overton announced yesterday he's coming back to Alabama, so there will be a lot more announcements coming up for the Crimson Tide football team and players over the next few weeks. Taking a look at Crimson Tide men's basketball. I mentioned the win against South Dakota State, 105-82, a career high for not only a LeBaron Philon, great performance by him, but also Aiden Holloway, terrific performance, helping Alabama get that win against the Jackrabbits, 105-82. Alabama currently ranks 5th in the AP poll. I mentioned LeBaron Philon. He was named the SEC Freshman of the Week for his fine play against South Dakota State. Now coming up on Saturday, it is a top 15 matchup. Alabama against one of the surprising teams in SEC men's basketball, the Oklahoma Sooners. 5 p.m. will be the start time. Our radio coverage across the network will begin at 4 from Stipe Lounge on the concourse at Coleman Coliseum. Speaking of Coleman, that's where you can catch us tonight for Crimson Tide women's basketball. After Sunday's win, 93-46 was the final score of that final non-conference game of the year. Christy Curry's team ranked 19th in the AP poll, and at 13-1, this is the best start in program history. Aaliyah Nye was excellent from beyond the arc, knocking down 8 3-pointers on Sunday. She scored a career-high 30 points. She was named the SEC Player of the Week. So great honors for Aaliyah Nye that we'll hear more about with Coach Curry in a moment. Tonight, it's Alabama against Florida. 6 p.m. will be the tip-off. Our radio coverage will start at 5:45, and of course we will have Courtside Cam presented by NASCAR streaming live as well on all of our CTSN social media platforms. Women's basketball, again, a lot of excitement for Christy Curry. The Crimson Tide are ranked for the first time in 25 years going into the season, and due to the great start, they've maintained that top 25 ranking all throughout the year. So now it's Alabama women's basketball starting conference play, and for a full preview, here's the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry.
Coach, roll tide and happy new year. It is time not just to begin 2025, but also SEC women's basketball. How's everything going for you and the Crimson Tide?
Well, happy new year to you and your family too, Roger. Everything's going great. We've been busy working during the holidays, so it's back to the grind for us. A couple of days off for Christmas and then right back to practice on the 26th. And really proud of how our kids have responded post-Christmas.
Got to be proud as well of the start the Crimson Tide have had this year. The best start in program history, 13-1. Just what have you learned about your team through 14 games?
It's a really special group. Obviously, they do a lot of unrequired. I think that's unique. I always say that your best teams have to be player-led teams. Really a tremendous leadership group in Carly Weathers, Sarah Ashley Barker, and Aaliyah Nye, who return and had a lot of experience at Alabama. So it's a group that goes to work. I mean, they're gritty, hard-nosed. It's blue collar, and I'm really proud of who they are and how they're going about their steps each day.
A lot of good leadership there. How about some of the newcomers to this Alabama roster? Not only the freshman, but also Zay Green. How has she fit into this team?
I mean, Zay's been unbelievable, to come in and to be as well of a fit as a person. It's unbelievable. She's a tremendous young lady, her character, her work ethic. She's fit seamlessly. The thing I've been so impressed about is she just wants to make everybody around her better. She's very selfless on the floor. And I think that's a unique characteristic to have a 1 year player. And I'm excited to see what the SEC season holds for her. We feel like it's given us a different dynamic from a downhill presence at the rim. She's shooting the ball really well. It's just her versatility. And, our goal is to put her in the best position to continue to improve her game. And I know that she wants to put our team in the best position to win.
Going into conference play, you got to like having the veteran lineup like you do because four starters from a year ago, of course, come back for Alabama. Then Zay, of course, played at Texas A&M and Tennessee. So how much does that experience help when you get ready to start this schedule?
Well, it gives you a lot. I think it puts you in a position to really help the new faces on a roster that are young. It helps our freshman class. I think, experience, you can't coach experience. That's the bottom line. And I think your most successful teams are your experienced team. And I think that's, what has led to this group having such high hopes. It's a different group, and obviously the system and style of play and how they can help transition the new faces to it quickly has been really a benefit for us.
This past Sunday, a special performance at Coleman Coliseum for Aaliyah Nye, 30 points, a new career high. Just what you see in some of the shots she was taking and the way she executed on the floor?
Well, she's always in the gym, she's always working on her craft. And, I thought we did a really good job. Anytime we can get stops defensively, it certainly helps lead to our transition game. And, we were doing a really good job of finding her in the openings. And, we wanted to shoot the ball. I think the thing I'm most excited for is her ability to be able to put it on the floor. Her versatility and how she's really grown with her finishes. She's countering, she's no longer just a pass and catch. She can really do a nice job of creating her own shot. And I think it makes her a more difficult guard. But anytime we can get stops, we definitely want to find her in transition. And feel good about how Carly's shooting the basketball essay from three, just the versatility. Zay's shots really improved. She's really gotten in the gym and really worked on her catch and shoot. And I just think that we've got multiple dynamics that we can really hurt you from three. And hopefully those shots are going to go in.
What do you hope to see out of Essence Cody as she gets ready for her sophomore year of SEC play?
Well, I could not be any prouder. I know I keep talking about how proud I am of this group and who they're trying to be, but the growth and the maturity, this young lady, I feel like, Pauline Love has done an unbelievable job with positivity and patience with her and has really spoken to her from a dynamic of coaching a Miriam Dada at Arkansas. Pauline's done a really great job with their post play. And I think that, she's infused Essence with, again, positivity and patience and letting the game come to her. But it's Essence's buy-in and getting in the gym and spending the unrequired. I've been so proud of her. I think as we head into the SEC, she's played against some really good post players, Anya Way from Cal and Van Sluten from Michigan State. I mean, those are really talented players. And I think that she, the way she matched up and handled those experiences are certainly it's a classroom setting for her to take into the SEC. So it'll be a great opportunity for her tomorrow against their leading scorer, Kyle, and a fifth year player. In Essence, it seems like every time I look up, their fifth year, and she's in her second year. So really proud of her growth and maturity. And we've got to put her in a position to play without the foul, and we've got to keep her on the floor tomorrow.
Conference play starts with Alabama against Florida on Thursday. Of course, the Gators 9-5 to begin the season. What can you tell us about Kelly Ray Finley's team and the style of play they bring to Tuscaloosa?
Well, Kelly Ray does such a great job, and she's got such a great staff around her. And, I feel like their team, their record's a little deceiving, to have 5 losses, but they played a really strong schedule. We have a similar opponent. They won at Clemson. We beat Clemson on a neutral floor. they've done a really great job. I mean, they've got some experienced players, but they've also added some very, very talented newcomers and O'Neal and McGill. But, they returned Layla Reynolds and Jerica Warren and Kindred and so many faces that we're so familiar with, like they're familiar with us. So she's done a great job of blending the old with the new. They're so extremely talented in the paint. We've got to protect the paint. We've got to do a really good job of rebounding the glass. Easy baskets in the paint will get us beat tomorrow, but it all starts with their transition game and them getting it to the rim. And we've got to do a really good job of matching up early and often and getting our defense set. And we've got to make them play against a set defense tomorrow. We'll have a hard time. So excited for the opportunity. It's certainly, all 16 count the same. All 16 are very difficult, but we feel like our preseason schedules put us in a position to be prepared.
Coach, we're excited for what's coming up the next couple months. Just thank you for the time you've given us, and best of luck against Florida. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Happy New Year.
Experience racing like never before. From the sandy beaches of Daytona to the high banks of one of the most exciting super speedways on the NASCAR circuit. Don't miss out as NASCAR kicks off the 2025 season with the Daytona 500 on February 16th, 2025. Witness history in the making and purchase your tickets today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Best of luck to Coach Curry and the Crimson Tide tonight as they take on Florida to start SEC women's basketball. I mentioned before, we'll have the Courtside Cam streaming live presented by NASCAR for tonight's women's basketball broadcast, as well as men's basketball coming up on Saturday. This past Sunday, Chris Stewart, Brian Passink had a lot of fun on the Courtside Cam as Alabama picked up a win to close out non-conference play over South Dakota State. Here's a look back at all the Courtside Cam highlights from this past Sunday.
Puts the ball in the air, and it's tapped into the backcourt where it's run down by the Rapids. Amori on the block, kicks it out. Nelson spots up, three, Alabama with the bank first three. Low post to Clough, backing in on Cliff. Clough against Cliff. Phylon, LeBaron the kick into the corner. Nelson, three, bottom. He likes playing against the Dakota teams, doesn't he?
Nice job by LeBaron. Phylon had a ball screen, got the ball inside. The defense converged. Grant Nelson once again steps into a three, this time from the corner.
Rebound, though, run down by Holloway. Back to Mark. Deep three, right wing, bottom. Far wing, free ball. Good. Aiden Holloway. Bama's knocked down four. Tide works it around to Holloway. Left wing, spot up three, gets it to go.
Those are the shots that Alabama can consistently get against the Jackrabbits.
And a steal by Diabate. Drives in, throws it home. Picked the pocket of Stoney Hadnot, and it was the ball that he had not any longer. Taken away by Diabate, who slammed it in. Out to Holloway, works it around to Youngblood. Drives, dishes, Holloway spots up, three ball bottom.
Can get those all day long. Second chance opportunity. Chris Youngblood sets up his teammate, Aiden Holloway, in rhythm, knocks it down.
Around the horn, Youngblood, left alone, three bottom. Back to Nelson, left alone. He'll try three bottom.
Well, Clough has to guard Grant Nelson with this lineup.
Scramble on the deck. Guess who got it? It's Mo Diabate. Diabate, another rebound. Out to Sears. Spots up for three. And this is a lot of fun. Bama now 9 of 19 from three-point range. Feeds it off in the corner. Holloway, three. And he's red, smoking hot. Holloway with a dozen. And Alabama leads it 40-17.
Alabama's so good coming out of timeouts. Well-executed play. And Aiden Holloway all by himself in the corner knocks down another rhythm three.
So now here's Nelson driving. Swing goes to the rack and throws it home. Driving in more, spot from behind by Stevenson, and Bama will run the other way. Here's Sears in transition, kicks in the corner to Holloway, spins away from a defender. Teardrop is good.
What a play by Aiden Holloway. It started defensively. Grant Nelson, Jaren Stevenson on the defensive end that started the Alabama fast break.
Rebound tipped high in the air. Diabate gets another board. Finds Sears all alone, 4 of 3, and you know what's going to happen there.
And that is what Mo Diabate does.
A lot of folks here on a Sunday afternoon, including one of those dang media guys from ESPN. I'm joking. It's Nick Saban and Miss Terry in their familiar spot on the baseline. Good to have Coach here watching today. Sears with the basketball, kicks it out to Phylon. An open three, and knocks home another bank first bucket for the Crimson Tide. Nelson far side, catch and shoot three. He answers.
Well, that was not in rhythm. The pass was a little bit off and took Grant Nelson over to his left. He didn't look on balance, but able to knock down his third three of the game.
Sears thought about trying it again, gives it off to Holloway, far side three. That one rips the net. for another bank first three-pointer. Bama 14 of 42 now for better than 33% from beyond the arc. On the Rabbits, and that attempt is short. Mo rebounded his own miss, puts it up off the glass, no. Tip grabbed by Sherrill, and he laid it in almost flat-footed there to get the bucket.
And who got the offensive rebound off of the missed free throw? The guy who shot it. Mo Diabate, the best offensive rebounder on missed free throws in Alabama history.
Even his own.
You never teach a guy to follow their shot off a missed free throw. But Mo Diabate,
You don't.
you plan on making it, so why would you follow it?
That's right.
But Mo Diabate able to get on the offensive glass after his own missed free throw. Doesn't convert, but Aiden Sherrill able to get it back and put it in. Alabama doing work on the offensive glass.
Sherrill hits the first. I agree with you on free throws.
One shot, man.
Or threes. I mean, if you're shooting it, why would a miss even enter into your mind? I don't
Not
understand.
all of us were as good as you,
I
prep
was-
school boy.
Listen, I missed a bunch, and I was just delusional enough to never think it was going to go. It was going to miss.
I was more realistic. LeBaron weaving through traffic, stops on the wing. The trailer is Sears. Bottom.
Great job defensively. Alabama gets the trap, the deflection, and LeBaron Philon finds a wide open Mark Sears, who knocks down another three.
17th bank first three of the ball game for Alabama. Grant pivots, hands it off to Holloway. Steps to the right, shoots a three, makes it again. Having a good time, Indy.
Oh, man, feeling it here in Alabama's last non-conference game. Aiden Holloway with a game-high 26 points.
Backs it out. Bama will set things up. Nate Oates says no more shots. Shot clock is dark. Bama's going to dribble away the final 7 seconds of this one. A little exhibition being put on by LeBaron Philon. And we will get out of here with a 105-82 victory over the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. 105-82, your final. Alabama with the victory improves now to 11-2 on the year. And again, that win gives Alabama 11 victories before the start of conference play for the first time under Nate Oates, and also the first time for an Alabama squad since that 2011-2012 college basketball season. 105-82 your final.
Hey, this is Jaron Stevenson, and you're watching Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR.
Greetings from Daytona, where year after year, greatness is the destination. So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
On Tuesday, it was Alabama football wrapping up the season as the Crimson Tide were in Tampa, Florida to take on the Michigan Wolverines in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Unfortunately, Michigan got the win. 19-13 was the final score of that ball game. And after the game was over, it was head coach Kalen DeBoer meeting with the media. Here are some of the best moments from his post-game press conference as we give you Coach's Checklist from Coach DeBoer following the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Congrats to Michigan here. Obviously, we dug ourselves a hole in the first quarter. The turnovers, gave them great field position. Thought our defense did a good job. Most of those drives of holding them to field goals gave us a chance. Loved the fight in our team, at the end of the first half to gain some momentum. Just got to finish some drives there at the end of the fourth quarter. And, that's what it comes down to. So make a throw, make a catch. Guys play their hearts out, though. Never gonna question the competitiveness. Some guys out there playing through a lot. When it comes to even just the physical pain that they're trying to grind through, trying to finish this thing off right. So feel for those guys. Want the guys that obviously are going to be coming back to remember this feeling, remember some of the feelings throughout the year. But we gotta keep building, continue to move forward. Well, I think there are some elements that played. I know even the pick, that's a really nice play. You throw it maybe 2 inches out further, and it's a catch for us. And I'm not sure if we run out of bounds or what there, but they made a nice play. And you guys were there. You saw the elements on the snap. You gotta field it. You can't turn it over. they struggled, I think. Fortunately, they had the field position. Fortunately for them, they had the field position where they didn't have to really press until the rain kind of moved through. But that certainly didn't help us, and kind of dug ourselves a rut. Had to play a little different style again. But hats off to our guys there just at the end of the first half of understanding, hey, just get one score, and then one score led to two. Wish we could have just done something there. I think in the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, where we get, maybe a field goal, get some points on the board, put the ball in the end zone. I mean, every time you're in the locker room and you have something like this, it's disappointing. But I think there's a lot of things that you take from it, and I know that the guys that hung in there, that probably played their last game in the crimson and white, they wouldn't have had it any other way, as far as to show the grit, show the determination, to show the competitiveness. They stayed the course. There's a whole lot more, I just think, that really goes into the last 12 months. People see what happens on a Saturday, but it's guys choosing to stay here, guys choosing to go from one week to the next, when you're on a little bit of a roller coaster through the middle of the season. And as long as we learn from it, then to me, then it can be a success moving forward. We're going to take all these things that happened, and there's some things that happened in the game today too that we got to learn from and make sure that those mistakes don't hurt us a year from now. I don't care if it's turnovers, penalties. It's everything. And so to me, it's a success if we move forward and we take advantage of the lessons, even though we don't want to learn those lessons sometimes, right? Because they're hard. We're going to learn from those lessons, move forward, and be better next year because of it. So, I told the guys that played the last game, how much I appreciate them. I know the teammates shared how much they appreciate them as well in the locker room. And, I know they're going to make us proud when they move on to the next level. And I promise them we're going to continue to make them proud with the fight and the standard of competitiveness that they instilled in this program here moving forward.
Don't miss out on your chance to experience the energy and the excitement of the Great American Race. Witness history in the making and purchase your tickets today for the 2025 Daytona 500 at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Time to wrap up this first show of the year here in 2025 on Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. But before we say goodbye, we wanted to take a look at our upcoming schedule here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Mentioned later tonight, it's Alabama women's basketball against the Florida Gators. 5:45 will be the start time all across our radio network, the Varsity Network app. Don't forget about the Courtside cam as well coming up for all of our home games this weekend of Alabama basketball. On Saturday, it'll be Alabama against Oklahoma. 4 p.m. will be the start time from Stipe Lounge on the concourse at Coleman, and then the tip-off at 5 o'clock. And then on Sunday as well, it'll be Crimson Tide women's basketball wrapping up their homestand to start SEC play. 1:45 will be the air time for Alabama against Missouri before the Crimson Tide will be on the road in women's basketball for the next two games. Monday night, it will be a new edition of Hey Coach coming to you live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. Chris Stewart, Nate Oates, other Alabama coaches, student athletes as well coming up, and we'll have the stream for that here at UA_CTSN, and that's really the account you should follow on your favorite social media platform for the very latest, our Courtside cam, Crimson Drive clips, so much coming up on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Just follow us again at UA_CTSN. It's going to wrap up this first edition of the year of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR. Huge thank you to Christy Curry joining us at the top of the show to preview women's basketball and SEC play coming up, as well as Chris Stewart, Brian Passink with our Courtside cam highlights, and then Coach DeBoer with Coach's Checklist. Thanks especially to Ethan Carabin. He put the entire show together on this Thursday afternoon, and thanks to all of you for watching. Now we look forward to the start of conference play for men's and women's basketball here at Alabama. We'll be talking some gymnastics coming up next week. It's just an exciting time at the capstone as we transition into winter sports. But for everybody with the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Roger Hoover saying thanks again for watching. We'll see you later this weekend at Coleman Coliseum. Roll Tide, everyone.